What's up, beautiful people? In this video, I will be doing a reaction to South Africa's street food in the most dangerous slum. Let's go! What's up, beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of Don't Keep Up With the Joneses. 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 What's up, beautiful people? It's me, Ricky Jones Jr. back again for another reaction video. And in this video, like I said, we're gonna be talking about and watching street food in one of South Africa's most dangerous slums. I think it's, yes, Alexandria Township. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get these reaction shades on. And yes, I did switch it up to the red. Red is actually my favorite color. And so yeah, we're gonna rock the red today. Let's go ahead and get to it, y'all.
In this video, I'm going to Johannesburg's most dangerous neighborhood.
You think Alex is safe?
It's not safe.
In search of South Africa's most unique street food.
Cold meats, fried meats, French fries, starch and processed meat.
I think we should find that.
But first, let's back up. South Africa is a complicated country with a dark past. Even though apartheid ended nearly 30 years ago, its echoing effects can still be seen in the underdeveloped, once racially segregated, urban areas known as townships.
What is a township?
You'll be put here and then you'll work in the mines or the factories and that type of things. Like a settlement. So maybe if you had more money, you would live in a different area. But it's basically a place you were just put there. It's not like a place you chose to come to.
Oh wow. So I'm even liking what's happening thus far, because not only is it a street food video, but it's also a little quick history lesson with what has taken place in South Africa. So I love this already, even before we talk about the food, knowing what the food could be and what food we're gonna taste. But yeah, let's go ahead and keep going.
Townships became known for innovating unique street foods. What people lacked in resources, they made up for with creativity and skill.
So we have a base of toasted bread, and then I'm not sure, I probably explained it in the voiceover. There's a lot going on here.
This morning, we're starting out in the township of Alexandra, one of the poorest urban areas in the entire country. Here, scarcity is a fertilized bed for creativity, proven by the food you'll soon see. This is River Park Cafe, located on the periphery of Alexandra.
This is how I usually make my entrance. Okay. No, not really. Not really.
Joining me, my companion for the day, fried chicken expert and restaurateur, Andrew. Next to him, restaurant owner, Chef Zanell. They both grew up.
Whoa, so you all just heard what just took place, right? He is the guy that's doing the video, I presume, is sitting with restaurant owners, like, and let's just not skate over that. So I even love the fact that in the midst of what's taking place in the township, there are people that are business owners that are reputable people that he's now sitting with. So come on now, in the midst of all that has taken place, good has come from it as well.
Townships. She grew up here in Alexandra.
Is this what you would normally serve one person?
Yeah.
I thought you were doing this for the show. This is ridiculous. It's huge.
This is Chef Janelle's signature, stewed sheep tripe and intestines, or MOGODU. Her recipe actually starts with more cleaning than cooking.
You have to make sure that you wash it, wash it, so that when you eat it, you just don't feel the sand or the little rocks in the mouth.
Next, she boils it for 2 hours.
The MOGODU has to be soft.
So I'm just curious, like, how many viewers that are watching either have eaten this or would eat this? In the States, we have something called chitlins or chitterlings, which is pig intestines, and I'm never gonna eat that, and I would never see myself eating this. I'm very particular about the things that I eat. Okay, I'm very much a picky eater, so this is gonna be curious as to how this video flows as opposed to what I would do to this.
Very soft.
And then the taste. Do you want it to taste gamey or not? Because it smells. Like it has some power to it. That's desirable, right?
Yeah.
The ingredients are cut into bite-sized pieces and tossed back in the pot. The chef adds beef stock and white pepper. After another hour of stewing, it's ready to serve.
And then you have this on the side. You call it a dumpling. Growing up, I think my mom would call this like a popover.
Flour, yeast, sugar, salt, butter, and sliced carrots come together in a dough. Let it rise into a bubbly mass and load it into muffin trays. steam for 30 minutes to achieve this fluffy, cloud-like dumpling.
I love the texture of it. It's like big, steamy, and soft.
That, before we find out what he thinks of the taste, that looked amazing. Like, I wouldn't call it a muffin, but the process in which he went about to create it and cook it, I can see why he, said what he said. However, it looked airy, fluffy, light, and fulfilling all at the same time. Like, whoa, I need one of those without the sheep situation.
Oh my God. This is so good. So we take that, we put it into the sauce. Oh yeah, super savory gravy. It's interesting, it does have kind of a wild, sheepy taste to it, but really good. It's got personality. It's not one of the chicks that holds the suitcase and Deal or No Deal. It's Howie Mandel. So we try the meat now.
It's definitely tender.
Yeah, very nice, soft texture.
But once you get into it, you forget about the gamey smell.
But I don't mean it as an insult. It's like, it has a gamey smell to it, but then when you eat it, it's like cheese. It might smell strong, but you eat it and it tastes delicious. So how long have you been cooking this recipe here?
10 years, and we keep on improving it.
Chef Zanell took over a small eatery from her mother in deep Alexandra. 4 years ago, she moved it here.
I find when people say deep here, it has a certain meaning. What do you mean when you say deep?
It's deep because that's where you go into the core of Alexandra. It's the Gomorrah part of Alexandra.
And I love like all that just took place as well. Like, she not only is a restaurant owner, but she is because of her mother or grandmother. I forgot, one of the matriarchs in her family. But it just shows how legacy is continuing and how people, though it may seem to be a dangerous location, people who are born and raised there may have the ability to move out and things like that. However, they remain there and continue to grow and thrive that community, right? And so like, that's beautiful. But then as well, I just love, y'all know I love my South African family and South African people. And let me keep going.
Gomorrah. The deep or the belly. The core of the township, where all the social issues erupt amid people densely packed against one another. It's where Zanell grew up.
Sometimes we don't have water and also electricity, and sometimes I feel like they've neglected us so much. There's too many potholes, and also many of the youth here, they're not working. So when it comes to employment, it's very rough. And also that gives rises to crime. So there's too many challenges around here.
Do you think Alex is safe?
It's not safe.
It's not safe.
Yeah.
More than 60% of Alexandra's households earn less than $2,300 a year. Only 5 clinics cater to almost 180,000 residents. Having a stable life here is like standing in quicksand. But Zanell is proof that anything is possible.
In my family, most of them, they didn't finish school, but then I made it a point that I myself, I'm just gonna challenge myself and go even further, by acquiring a diploma in civil engineering.
But this is what you love, and this is what you want to pursue.
Yeah, I always...
She pursued and achieved a degree in civil engineering through all that she went through. And yet it's still a restaurant owner. And I say it that way because it's not to belittle what she does. It's to say she has a choice and chose to do what she's doing. So I say that to say I could even believe that the food tastes that much more greater because it's being cooked by somebody who chooses, wants, and desires to be making this food each and every time. So, I mean, if you have the ability to go to this township, maybe it could be worth, I don't know, they did say it's in the belly. So go with somebody you know, okay?
Oh God, that I want to open my restaurant one day, and I was saving money until it came to fruition.
Do you think there's a lot of people here who feel defeated?
Yeah, there's too much.
There's a lot of people.
There's too much, too many.
To better understand the inner workings of Alex, Andrew and I head deeper into the densely packed belly of this township. The population of Alexandra is 4 times more than its infrastructure was designed for.
It's congested, you know, a lot of people from different places occupy the same space, so it's definitely hard.
With the area so densely populated, folks here struggle with low water pressure, sewer blockage, and flooding.
When I see a place like this, I'm looking around, I see kind of improvised homes, borrowed wood, corrugated steel, kind of a patchwork to make these small spaces where people live in now. But I gotta say, the mood here, much lighter than I expected. As people are shooting here, as people visiting.
And like, that's the thing. Like, truth be told, even in the midst of the hard times, the struggles, the close proximities, and all the various things that they talked about that people may be going through, the people look genuinely happy. They look like they're enjoying life and the life in which they have to enjoy. And I think oftentimes people have the idea that though people may not be living in the lavishness of life, that they may be frustrated, mad, depressed, and sad all day. Well, no, look at these kids. If the kids are happy, you already know it just trickles up from there. So it's cool, I will say, to in the midst of this street food demonstration, we're able to also see what's going on in this particular township, which is Alexandria. So I love the holistic approach to this video thus far.
Oh, you can walk through. See, this is what I'm talking about. This woman lives here. She's literally trying to duck through our shot. We came here, of course, we asked permission, but people are so accommodating, welcoming. This is what they have, and they're open and willing to share it.
The word they use is Ubuntu, and people coming together and trying to make a space work. So people are definitely from different environments, from different places, and they just try to make things work.
Ubuntu. I love it. Came in contact with it last year when we first went to South Africa, and Ubuntu stands for, or in other words means, I am because you are. The idea that I exist and I can be if you are, and in that you are being who you are, created and were designed to be. So it's just that harmony and unity of people being them and how it will make the world a better place because of it. So love it.
When it comes to the townships, do you think the townships are responsible for creating their own types of unique food and cuisine?
Township food is basically a amalgamation of a lot of things in terms of culture, in terms of where you're from, and in terms of survival. A good example of that would be the slime.
I think we should find that.
I know a couple of places, but I'll take you to one.
Slime. It's a guilty pleasure bordering on vice. An unhealthy heap of delicious deep-fried processed food. The recipe here kicks off with bologna and salami on sandwich bread. Then a fried egg, another slice of bread, cheese, and a burger patty smothered with barbecue sauce.
First of all, respect. Like, what's taking place before our eyes? Respect. Me, I don't eat pork, nor do I eat beef, just for personal, just want to take care of myself, and that was a way in which I did so. I also don't eat and do other things as well. But nonetheless, this right here looks like we had to put it together, and this is what we put together. So I'm just curious as to even what he thinks and how he thinks it tastes.
Cap it with a third slice of bread, but don't stop there. Load the boat with Russian sausage, Vienna sausage, and well-seasoned French fries. You can find this calorie bomb exclusively here in Alexandra. The cost for all this, $1.50.
So how would you approach eating this? Because there is so much food here, I don't even know how to fit this in my face.
So you go into the middle part, and then you just grab it where you can, and you just bite the middle. Most of the time the middle.
Oh, you're going directly in the middle?
I'll go straight in the middle.
We have no tissues. You know what? Let's go for it. Delicious processed meats. So salty. I just got my sodium for the week.
This is something you away from home for, because that's what you want to do. You want to drink and have more. The Russian sausage is a pork sausage, what's been smoked. No relation to Russians. No. And this is very similar. It's a Vienna, like a hot dog sausage.
So what they've done is, I think they've taken pretty cheap ingredients and they've prepared them the best way possible.
Yes.
So if you have a cheap kind of sausage like this, you don't want to just boil it in some water. No. It's going to be limp.
And water will take the flavor out as well.
But if you fry it, you crisp it up, you give it some texture, and then you just have a little burst of flavor each bite. How many calories do you think are right?
So much just went along, right? Obviously, it's going to be salty because it's processed meat, and that's just the way in which the meat can stay preserved, right? But then outside of that, he just described how, no, we don't want to boil this meat. Like, that'd be whack. Then the brother said, if you boil the meat, the water will take the flavor out of the sausage. I didn't even know that. Like, if that's a thing, wow. I did not know. I'm not a cook, but I gained some information, right, on cooking techniques and abilities and things like that. But then even outside of it, I'm curious to know like what the fries taste like. Out of all that I did see, I would eat the fries. So let's get to the fries.
All week.
It strikes me when I come to places like this, some people use the word slum, especially for parts of it.
Yeah.
Is slum a bad word?
The word slum, it is derived from a bad word, but at the same time, it also shows your struggles and the diversity, and it's like a story, you know, from the slums to the wood, you know, it's just a story to it.
Andrew is no stranger to adversity. He was born and bred in Soweto, the biggest township in South Africa. He took himself from entry-level restaurant gigs to starting his own business, dishing out some of the best fried chicken in town. Now, he lives in...
And Soweto is beautiful. I've been to Soweto, and the people are beautiful. The area is beautiful. Again, that's where Nelson Mandela's home is, as well as Desmond Tutu, on the same street, which are two Nobel Peace Prize winners, for those that don't know. And so a lot of history and a lot of greatness comes out of this particular township. And so if he has a restaurant there, I will for sure go to the restaurant, because your boy will eat some fried chicken. So hopefully they show us what that is.
But he still visits Soweto to experience the unique township food he grew up on. Like this stuff, a meaty favorite we're gonna try soon.
So, Soweto, I'm told it's a huge township.
Yes, it is. Originally, people came from different areas from the country and were settled here.
Soweto was one of many hundreds of townships created under the infamous Group Areas Act, implemented by the apartheid government. The act removed thousands of non-whites from most developed areas and assigned them to separate townships depending on their race, black, colored, or Indian. Today, Soweto is home to over 1.2 million people, 98% of those being black Africans.
So where are we right now?
Right now, we're in the DK, in the cultural markets. This is a very popular market in Soweto.
In this quarter of Soweto, you'll find rows of storage sheds that have transformed into an improvised market. Folks here sell live chickens, beer by the carton, and food of all kinds.
Where do you know that you can go to a market such as that, right? We have live chickens, we have beer in cartons, we have food that's being cooked like all in one particular place. Like, you have to love the ingenuity of people, right? But then you have to do, right? You learn to adjust and do what you have to do to be able to do what you need to do. And so I even love like that community approach, again, that spirit of Ubuntu that has been talked about before, continues to be lived out in various places and spaces. And here's just another one.
While our meat is getting ready to heat up, Andrew has invited me to one stall for an appetizer.
I'm told these are called rocks. I mean, you could build a house with this.
But you eat it.
But you could also eat it.
This is calabash chalk, a type of edible clay found mainly in West African countries.
So they break it into smaller pieces.
So I can't show Ricky that.
And they just put it in their mouth.
Okay, I'm gonna take a smaller piece. I don't want to be rude. Am I rude if I put the dirt back on the ground?
No,
I spit a little out.
that's where it comes from. So you can put it on the floor.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't know if our move to South Africa is for us to eat clay. Now, will I try it? I don't know. What? I think I would. Oddly enough, I would, because it comes from the earth, and I'm definitely down with the natural things. And so, but the fact that he spit it out after just eating the sheep intestines says a lot. So maybe I should rethink what I just said. But nonetheless, if you know a spot that this is in abundance and you would recommend it, definitely let us know in the comment section below, and we can see if we can do a video for it. Oh, what did I get myself into?
Has a nice texture. When you chew it, it's like
You're not supposed to chew it. You're supposed to suck it.
Oh, terrible texture for chewing.
So because it's clay, what happens is it's gonna melt in your mouth.
It's like cake to my teeth right now. It has kind of a fun, silty texture. I don't hate it. I've had something similar in other countries, but it's much more sandy. And this is much less sandy. It's very fine. It just creates like a strange Play-Doh texture stuck to the side of my teeth that slowly dissipates and gets swallowed over time.
In contrast to Haitian mud cookies, which are believed to compensate for a lack of nutrients, the calabash chalk is consumed by African women as a cure for pregnancy nausea.
Cool. So this is nice. We actually came here for meat. I was gonna say food. This is now food. But we came here for meat.
Which I'm gonna say that's interesting because that is a form of chalk, and I do know women in the States to actually have cravings for chalk when they're pregnant, so, and even after pregnancy, but that's like the uber case. But nonetheless, like, I'm just trying to bring it all together, y'all, that's all.
Just on the opposite side of the storage sheds, a clever twisted frame of corrugated steel and found materials, formed into a carnivore's paradise.
They have a menu on the wall. Some of these words I don't know. Itungo
It's like chicken.
Okay. Papa.
Papa is pap, so it's maize.
And salad.
Today, we're going straight protein with beef liver and beef heart.
3, 2, 1.
The organs are sliced and tossed on the grill. Then comes a generous shower of seasonings.
So, you know, I'm not anti, right? I'm not anti people's processes. I'm just anti, like, my participation in the process. And when I saw my brother hold up the meat with his bare hands, I was already just taken back. I'm very particular about, like, how things are made, how just germs, like, I'm that guy, right? And, you know, sometimes you have to take that hat off. Sometimes you have to realize you just have to be where you are and participate in the way things are. And so, you know, may come a time where I'm a participating in the bride, and I'm just there, and I'm there, and I'm like, there. So let's see what my brother's cooking. That seasoning look on point, though.
The hot and steamy organs are further chopped into smaller pieces and smothered with more spice, salt, and peri-peri sauce. On the side, salsa and acha.
I think we're gonna eat first and then we're gonna have a drink after that.
Okay, let's do it.
So I think start with the hot.
Oh, that's good.
It's so beefy. You know, even though you eat to the cow's hot, it's so beefy.
There's no lack of flavor here. They've seasoned the heck out of everything here. Super salty. I'm gonna try to break it up to some of this. We got basically just a salsa, right?
Yeah, just onion, tomato, and chili.
Oh, that's nice.
It's fresh, almost thinned up so you can go again.
Or beer. A creamy brown sorghum beer.
It's a communal drink. You don't use a cup, so we're gonna have it through this plastic container over here.
Very creamy, fermented. It reminds me a little bit of Korean makgeolli, but more of a sorghum-y flavor.
Every culture has something similar to this. This is our version of that.
I'm just curious, right? Just curiously talking. Okay, let's have a curious conversation. I see them eating. They were using their hands, right? And curious, like, is that the way? And then they were getting the salsa, and they got it with their hands too. You know, that's just how we do, right? And then the beer was drank from the same container without pouring it in the separate cups. Like, is that what we do too? Like, just let a brother know. I'm now curious as to how brides take place. And, like, you know, I don't want to be culturally disrespectful if I'm invited to a bride. I just now need to know when I come, this is what I can expect. If this is how we do. Let me know.
Well, I noticed here, it's like kind of offcuts. Heart, liver, head. Is this food cheaper than like a steak?
Yes, it is cheaper.
So do you think that might be one reason that it's here?
It could be one of the reasons, but the main reason is to show that what type of man they are. Usually, man eats cow hearts and liver.
How important is that in a neighborhood like this to reinforce your identity?
It's important to show people who you are and how they perceive you. Image is everything. It's just the way they class themselves.
I mean, now you live in the city, but when you lived in Soweto, did it matter more?
Yeah, it did. You know, if you look cool, you get all the girls. And
I gotta try this. Oh wait, I'm married. Now I'm ready for the liver, and this is loaded with seasoning. Hold on.
It's not gamey, it's clean.
Beef liver, easy to make it very dry and just borderline uneatable, chalky. This is really soft, almost like a little pate.
These guys grow tons of this type of meat. They know exactly how to cook it.
I'm curious, you know, yesterday I ate a lot of different street food throughout Johannesburg, and I can see that people here really like and appreciate meat. But in a place like this, in Soweto, or in this part of Soweto, what kind of meat is most available?
Chicken. Chicken is very popular. It's the daily staple around a lot of our communities. Then processed meats are big, as you're gonna see.
Let's see what that chicken do. You know what I'm saying? They don't really show the chicken love. I eat the chicken, okay? We're really heavy on the beef and the pig right now. I just want to see what that chicken do, man. Come on, show some chicken. They didn't even eat the fries. I just thought about it. They never tasted the fries on camera. Like, I'm here for something.
Compared to Alexandra, Soweto is a wide-ranging township. Here you'll find densely populated, improvised slums, rows of cookie-cutter homes, and modern suburbs.
And truth be told, there are $1 million homes in Soweto as well. And so Soweto spans from the $1 million homes to the slums that you may be accustomed to seeing and things like that. So just showing you and talking about the diversity that is in Soweto, which is why, I mean, I even love it as well.
Is equally wide-ranging. From nose-to-tail street-side dining to vibrant bistros like this. Here, they're selling a Soweto signature, a prize many travelers hunt for. They call it kota.
Okay.
We have a base of toasted bread, and then I'm not sure, I probably explained it in the voiceover.
The kota starts with a whole freaking loaf of bread cut into quarters, buttered up, and toasted. Each toasted section is carved up to form a vessel. Now we must attend to the fillings.
Okay.
They have the basics, what would be the chips, processed meat like bologna and Russian. But we've got a premium kota today.
Beef patties are grilled, and onion rings are battered and made crispy.
The kota is the brainchild of the bunny chow. So the bunny chow originates from Indian people who lived in Durban, and they used to have a curry inside. When people moved to Johannesburg, we adopted that style. But then we sort of put our own spin on it.
Time for the bill. The hollowed bread is filled with French fries and topped with coleslaw. On top of that rises a tower of triple beef patties with layers of melted cheese. Cap it off with onion rings and garnish with pickle.
All right, show.
Those onion rings look amazing. I would go to the restaurant and get what we see minus the meat. Like, keep the meat on the side so I can give it to somebody, or you can keep it and just take it off my bill. But everything else I saw looked amazing. That coleslaw looked fantabulous. Like, I'm curious as to what he says about that. The French fries, which they call chips, look cool. Like, I like a nice thick cut. And then they have the onion ring that looked fried to perfection. Like, if they can do that with a chicken breast, see me, because I want to see it. Maybe it'll be a
Go
video.
from top to bottom.
Because it's so big, I'm gonna take away the 2 burger patties.
Patties, put them on the side just temporarily.
Put the top on, smash it a bit, and try to get into it.
Oh, I like that. Handleability, 10 out of 10. We're having a real cultural moment right now.
That's fantastic.
Okay, we gotta hear your review.
I can taste the beef. This is definitely different because they're using like 100% pure beef on there. I like the fries. They're not thin. They're nice and thick and wide. And then the onion rings, crispy, thick, crunchy.
I love the garlic bread though. Essentially like a garlic toast as buns. So flavorful. I'm gonna try just the patty here. Oh, that's a good patty. Super juicy. The fat ratio, it's a nice ratio. Oh my god. You know how much this one costs?
$4.80.
This is ridiculous. For $4.80, it looks like a came through.
$5?
Going from Alex to here.
I expected 15. Well, in the States it's
Alex
15.
still has new settlers. People are coming from outside Johannesburg and still moving into Alex. Soweto's more where people are generations and grandfather, my father, now me. But this is a good community. It's more suburbish. Then we have places like Orlando West, Sofeni, Deep Kloof, Velakazi Street where Nelson Mandela and Desmond Tutu used to live. So it's a diverse area.
When you look at the township, whether it's Alex or Soweto, what do you think are the biggest struggles people are facing there?
There's a lot of issues. Electricity, good roads, but opportunity is a big one.
For you, in your story, do you think opportunities were given to you or did you have to just make your own opportunities?
You know, the harder you work, the luckier you become. I washed dishes from the beginning. I moved around. I had to sleep on the road sometimes. And all the sacrifices brought me to where I was.
But you see so many people here who seem kind of deflated, like they've just been defeated. So what do you say to those people? I know you can't solve all these problems, but you know, when you come across people who just seem kind of defeated, they're like, it's a Tuesday, it's noon, I'm just gonna drink.
That's a sad story because you can't convince them there'll be a better day because they have to change before you can change them. The government can only do so much. A community can only do so much, but it's always up to the individual.
Beautiful. Andrew, thank you.
Well said. Well said. From where he has been, the things he has gone through and lived through to where he is today, to even have that perspective of, you could blame so many, right? However, the true ability for one to be able to ascend to the things that they want to do is trapped on the inside of them. So when you make that change, when you want to make a difference, then you will start to make the difference, see the changes, and see the growth and opportunities that you want to have. So, man, what a holistic video. I don't know if it's ending, but let me just see.
Thank you so much.
Can I have a sloppy handshake?
So, yep, that one is a wrap, which was a fantabulous video, right? Holistically, yes, it talked about street food, but then outside of the street food element, there was the holistic approach, to the whole townships of Alexandria and Soweto, and, you know, just being able to track and view it from a person's perspective from Soweto that has now moved out, right? He did share that, but in it all, with it all, great people, again, I love it, I love it, I love it. We as Americans think of, I will just say it, like the continent of Africa to look like the townships. However, that is just not what it is. The township is a part of the country of South Africa, but it's not the totality of the country of South Africa. However, even in the midst of what we may think of doom and gloom of slums, no, there is life, there is hope, there's creativity, and there's opportunity and possibilities for people to get out, as well as for them to flourish and grow to be all that they so desire to be, from a engineer to a restaurant owner and chef. So all that to say, great people, again, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. And what do I love? South Africa, the people of South Africa, the spirit of Ubuntu, and the opportunities that the continent of Africa has for all, right? Truth be told, for all. And so with that being said, great people, always and please, if you could, let me know in the comment section below what I should do a reaction video to next. And I will be sure to scroll up and see it and put it on the list. Okay, great people? So until then, I love you.